Have you ever wondered why some people naturally earn respect without even trying? What if the secret lies not in what you say, but in how deeply aware you are of each moment? And could ancient Buddhist wisdom, thousands of years old, hold the key to a more peaceful, respected, and fulfilling life today? Let's find out together. Buddhism, one of the world's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions, offers a deep well of wisdom that continues to resonate across cultures and centuries. It's not just a religion or philosophy. It's a path, a guide, and a way to live with clarity, dignity, and compassion. In this video, we'll explore 18 powerful lessons from Buddhist teachings, lessons that can transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. These insights are designed to help you grow into the kind of person others naturally admire, not through dominance or control, but through authenticity, mindfulness, and inner peace. And here's the best part. You don't have to be a Buddhist to benefit. These lessons are universal. They're for anyone who wants to evolve, to live more mindfully, and to earn genuine respect, starting from within. Each lesson we'll share has a practical angle. We won't just talk about lofty ideas. We'll break them down and show you how to apply them in daily life. Because that's where true transformation happens. Not in a temple on a mountaintop, but in the quiet moments of your everyday routine. Buddhist wisdom is known for its elegant simplicity. It doesn't demand complex rituals or blind faith. What it does require is awareness of your thoughts, your actions, and how you respond to the world. So, let's begin with the very first and perhaps most important lesson: mindfulness. At the heart of Buddhist practice lies mindfulness, the art of being fully present in the moment. It sounds simple, but its impact is profound. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. It invites us to stop chasing the past or fearing the future, and instead fully experience the here and now. Why is this so important? Because only when you are present can you truly understand yourself. And only when you understand yourself can you begin to change your life. Respect from others begins with self-respect, and self-respect begins with mindfulness. So, how do we bring mindfulness into our everyday lives? Meditation is a powerful starting point. Sitting quietly, focusing on your breath, observing your thoughts as they rise and fall. This practice trains your mind to be calm, clear, and focused. Over time, it cultivates emotional balance and resilience, helping you respond to challenges with wisdom rather than reaction. But mindfulness isn't limited to meditation. It can be woven into the smallest moments of your day. Try mindful breathing, simply pausing to take a deep, conscious breath when you feel overwhelmed. This act alone can center you and bring you back to peace. Practice mindful walking. Pay attention to each step, the sensation of your feet touching the earth, the rhythm of your movement. It turns something ordinary into something sacred. And don't forget mindful eating. Slow down. Savor each bite. Notice the flavors and textures. Eating with awareness transforms a meal into a meditation and reconnects you with the present moment. These are simple practices, but don't let their simplicity fool you. They hold the power to reset your inner world. Once mindfulness begins to shape your daily awareness, something remarkable happens. You start seeing yourself more clearly. You notice your thoughts, your reactions, your habits. And as you become more grounded in the present, others begin to sense a shift in you, a calm, centered presence. But the journey doesn't stop there. To truly connect with others and be respected from the heart, we must embrace the next core lesson of Buddhism: compassion. Buddhism teaches us that compassion is not just a noble emotion, it is the essence of being human. It is the bridge between self-awareness and meaningful connection. Without compassion, wisdom becomes cold, but with it, even simple words can heal. Compassion means recognizing the suffering of others and responding with a sincere desire to ease it. It's more than just feeling sorry for someone. It's the active expression of empathy through kindness, patience, and presence. And it's this very quality that naturally earns the respect of those around you. Why? Because compassion shows strength, not weakness. It reveals a person who feels deeply and acts wisely. Let's explore 5 ways to cultivate this powerful trait. 1. Self-compassion, the root of all kindness. Before you can extend kindness outward, you must first be kind inward. How do you speak to yourself when you make mistakes? Are you harsh, critical, impatient? Or are you gentle, understanding, forgiving? Self-compassion isn't self-pity. It's the quiet courage to accept yourself, flaws and all, and respond to your own suffering with tenderness. This inner attitude becomes the foundation for treating others with the same grace. 2. Empathy, stepping into another's world. True empathy requires more than hearing words. It means feeling what someone else might be going through. Try asking yourself, if I were in their place, what would I need? Whether it's a coworker dealing with stress, a friend hiding silent pain, or even a stranger struggling on the street, empathy allows us to connect on a level that transcends judgment. It is this emotional intelligence that earns quiet admiration and trust. 3. Acts of kindness, small deeds, big impact. Respect is often built not on grand speeches, but on small moments, helping someone carry groceries, sending a thoughtful message, offering a warm smile. In Buddhism, these everyday actions are seeds of compassion. Though simple, they leave deep impressions on those who receive them. People remember how we make them feel, and consistent kindness builds an image of someone who truly cares. 4. Active listening, a rare gift. In a world where everyone wants to speak, the ability to listen has become rare and valuable. When someone is sharing with you, are you fully present, or are you waiting to speak? Listening with your full attention, without judgment, without interruption, makes others feel seen, valued, and respected. It's one of the most powerful ways to express compassion. 5. Forgiveness, letting go to free yourself. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness, in contrast, is a powerful act of liberation. Buddhism teaches us that clinging to anger or grudges only deepens our suffering. By letting go, truly letting go, we release ourselves from emotional bondage. And this act, while deeply personal, also radiates maturity and earns the respect of those who witness it. When you embody compassion, you become a source of peace in other people's lives. People will feel safe around you. They'll admire the quiet strength you carry. And in time, they'll come to respect you, not because you demanded it, but because you became someone worthy of it. After opening our hearts to compassion, we're now ready to look inward and shift how we relate to life itself. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism, impermanence, offers us a powerful lens to navigate uncertainty and earn quiet, lasting respect through resilience and grace. Life is always in motion. People change, situations evolve, emotions rise and fall. Nothing stays the same forever. Buddhism teaches us this fundamental truth. Impermanence is the nature of all things. At first, this idea can feel unsettling. We often crave stability, permanence, and control. But paradoxically, it is in embracing impermanence that we find peace. When we stop fighting change and start flowing with it, we become lighter, more adaptable, and more deeply respected by those around us. Here's how we can apply this timeless lesson in everyday life. Let go of attachments. Much of our pain stems from clinging to people we love, to possessions we treasure, to outcomes we expect. But nothing lasts forever. By gently loosening our grip and accepting the temporary nature of all things, we open ourselves to freedom. It doesn't mean we stop loving or caring. It means we stop fearing loss and start embracing the beauty of what is while it lasts. Embrace change. Instead of resisting change, what if we welcomed it as part of our growth? Like trees that bend in the wind but do not break, people who adapt to life's twists with grace earn admiration. Resilience, after all, is one of the most respected qualities a person can embody. Live in the present. Impermanence reminds us that this moment, right here, right now, is all we truly have. So be present, savor your morning tea, listen fully in a conversation, watch the clouds drift across the sky. The more we root ourselves in the present, the more fulfilled and respected we become. Learn from life's changes. Each ending carries a lesson. Each shift offers perspective. Reflecting on impermanence helps us grow in wisdom and humility, two traits that naturally draw others toward us. When you speak with the quiet understanding that everything passes, your words carry weight. Your presence becomes grounding. And perhaps most importantly, when you live this lesson, you begin to let go of perfection. You no longer need to control every outcome, every detail. You walk through life with calm confidence, and that more than anything earns genuine respect. Closely connected to impermanence is the lesson of non-attachment, another vital teaching that can radically transform how we're perceived by others. While impermanence shows us that nothing lasts forever, non-attachment teaches us to stop chasing what can't fulfill us in the first place. At its heart, non-attachment means freedom from craving, freedom from needing things or people to define our self-worth. This doesn't mean we become distant or indifferent. Rather, it means we find joy from within, and we stop depending on things outside ourselves for validation. Here's how you can begin to cultivate non-attachment in daily life. Detach from outcomes. Do your best and let go. Focus on the process, not just the result. Whether you succeed or fail, what matters is the heart you bring to your actions. When people see you moving forward without anxiety or desperation, they respect your clarity and strength. Let go of material attachment. You don't need to throw everything away, but take a moment to ask, what truly adds value to my life? When you free yourself from the constant hunger for more, you begin to radiate peace. That simplicity, that lightness, it stands out in a world obsessed with excess. Release the need for approval. This might be the hardest and most freeing practice of all. When you stop needing others to validate your worth, you begin to walk with quiet confidence. You speak less to impress and more from truth. And those around you, they notice. Respect naturally follows those who are inwardly whole. When we begin to loosen our grip on outcomes and possessions, As taught in the lesson of non-attachment, we discover a rare gift: contentment. It's in this quiet space of enoughness that peace begins to take root. Contentment doesn't mean you stop dreaming or growing. It simply means you stop chasing what you don't need and start appreciating what's already here. In a world that constantly urges us to want more success, more wealth, more attention, contentment is a radical act. When you can sit still and truly feel grateful for what you have, people notice. You carry a peaceful energy, a calm strength that draws others in. And what's remarkable is this: when you're no longer controlled by desires or by the need for approval, you become more authentic. You speak your truth. You act with intention. You are less reactive, more grounded. This self-assured presence is exactly what makes others respect and trust you. So pause for a moment. Look around. What in your life can you simply say thank you for without wanting to change it? Next, let's explore a lesson that might seem simple on the surface, but is deeply powerful: right speech. The way we speak, what we say, and how we say it has a lasting impact on how others perceive us. Words can heal or hurt, unite or divide. And Buddhism places great emphasis on the mindful use of speech as a reflection of our inner character. So how can we embody right speech in our daily lives? Here are 5 essential practices. 1. Speak the truth. Honesty is the foundation of trust. When people know your words align with reality, they naturally rely on you. Even when the truth is uncomfortable, choosing integrity builds long-term respect. 2. Speak with kindness. Words don't have to be loud to be powerful. A gentle tone, a compassionate phrase, a respectful reply, these small choices soften hearts and open minds. People are far more likely to listen when they feel safe in your presence. 3. Speak to help. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say helpful? Avoid gossip, criticism, or divisive talk. Instead, offer words that uplift, guide, or encourage. In moments of uncertainty, your thoughtful speech can be a beacon for others. 4. Know when silence is wiser. Sometimes, the most respectful response is no response at all. Practicing mindful silence, especially during conflict or tension, demonstrates maturity and wisdom. Listening deeply shows others that their voice matters. 5. Reflect before speaking. Pause. Breathe. Consider the ripple effect your words might create. Thoughtful communication isn't just appreciated, it's respected. People remember how you made them feel, especially in emotionally charged moments. When you practice right speech, your words begin to carry weight. You become someone whose voice uplifts, not just informs. And over time, your presence will be seen as a source of clarity and respect in every interaction. Now, let's turn to a quality that quietly anchors all others: patience. Buddhism teaches that patience is not passive waiting. It's the strength to remain calm and steady through life's storms. In moments of stress, misunderstanding, or delay, patience reveals your inner discipline. And in the eyes of others, it earns you a deep, quiet kind of respect. The respect reserved for those who endure with dignity. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about how you wait. It's about how you respond when things don't go your way, when delays, frustrations, or disagreements arise. In those moments, you have a choice: react with anger or respond with grace. Here's how to embrace patience as a way of life. Accept life's challenges. Let's face it, life rarely unfolds exactly the way we plan. There will be delays, disappointments, and unexpected detours. But instead of resisting or complaining, what if you saw each obstacle as a chance to grow? Challenges often carry lessons we wouldn't learn otherwise. When you accept them, not as punishments, but as part of life's rhythm, you show resilience, and that earns deep respect. Breathe and stay calm. When tension rises, pause. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. A few conscious breaths can shift your entire emotional state. Maintaining composure in stressful situations demonstrates incredible inner control. People are drawn to those who don't panic under pressure. They trust your steadiness. Practice tolerance. The world is full of people who think, feel, and live differently from you. Patience also means allowing space for these differences without judgment. When you practice tolerance, you create an atmosphere of respect, one where everyone feels seen and accepted. And in return, you're respected for your open-mindedness. Learn to let go. Sometimes, patience means knowing when to release what no longer serves you. Whether it's an unhealthy relationship, a toxic habit, or an unchangeable situation, letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. When people see you making choices for your well-being, they respect your courage and self-awareness. Develop inner strength. Patience isn't passive. It takes strength to stay centered when storms swirl around you. The more you build this strength, from meditation, self-reflection, or life experience, the more you'll become someone others admire, especially during tough times. Patience doesn't mean inaction. It means choosing thoughtful action. And when you live this way, you become a calming force in a restless world. Following patience, the next lesson in our journey is just as transformative: gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a way of seeing. It's the practice of recognizing blessings, even in the ordinary. It's acknowledging the good that surrounds you, even when life feels imperfect. And here's the beautiful truth. When you live with gratitude, you radiate positivity. Others feel it. They're drawn to your light, your humility, your joy, and that draws respect without a word. Here's how you can bring gratitude into your life. Keep a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 to 5 things you're thankful for. They don't need to be big. Sometimes it's the smell of fresh rain, a smile from a stranger, or a moment of quiet. This habit rewires your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. Express your gratitude openly. Don't wait for a special occasion. Tell your family, friends, co-workers, even strangers, how much you appreciate them. A heartfelt compliment or thank you can lift someone's spirit more than you realize. And people always remember those who make them feel seen and valued. Be present. Gratitude lives in the now. When you fully experience this moment, its sounds, colors, sensations, you naturally appreciate it. You stop longing for what's next and start loving what is. That presence brings a grounded energy others admire. Practice mindful consumption. Gratitude also shows in how we engage with the world. Are we consuming thoughtfully? Food, resources, media. When we live with awareness of the impact our choices have on others and the environment, we not only live more ethically, we earn respect for our mindfulness and integrity. When you cultivate gratitude, your life becomes richer, not because you have more, but because you see more. And as your heart opens, so does the respect others feel for you. One of the most powerful ways to show true gratitude is simple: give back. When you offer your time, energy, or resources to help someone in need, You're not only acknowledging the blessings in your life, you're honoring them. Generosity is gratitude in motion. Whether it's supporting a friend, volunteering in your community, or simply being present for someone going through a hard time, these acts of giving radiate kindness, and the effect. People notice. Generosity earns genuine respect, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because your actions reflect a heart full of empathy and awareness. Gratitude transforms your inner world, but giving transforms the world around you. So ask yourself, where can I give, even in small ways, today? Now, let's turn inward again, toward a practice deeply respected in Buddhism and vital for meaningful self-improvement: self-reflection. Self-reflection isn't about judging yourself. It's about understanding yourself, your thoughts, your patterns, your intentions. The more you reflect, the clearer your inner landscape becomes, and clarity leads to change. Growth, wisdom. When others see that you're committed to understanding and improving yourself, they can't help but respect your dedication. You become someone who learns, evolves, and inspires others to do the same. Here are practical ways to bring self-reflection into your life. Keep a journal. Set aside time to write freely about your day, your emotions, your reactions, your insights. Journaling isn't just for venting. It's a mirror that reveals your inner world and helps you make sense of it. Seek honest feedback. Don't shy away from asking others how your actions affect them. A fresh perspective can uncover blind spots and help you grow. It shows maturity and humility, two traits that command quiet respect. Examine your motivations. Before acting, pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I seeking approval, acting out of fear, or is this aligned with my values? These simple questions help you act with greater integrity. Learn from your mistakes. Mistakes don't define you. How you respond to them does. Own up to your missteps. Reflect on what went wrong and commit to doing better. People deeply respect those who admit fault and use it as fuel for improvement. Set values-based goals. Think beyond success. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? Set clear goals that align with your principles, not just your ambitions. This sense of purpose becomes a guiding compass and inspires those around you. Self-reflection is like tending a garden within. It may take time, but as your awareness deepens, others will see the growth in you, and they'll admire your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. With growth comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes humility. The next vital lesson on this journey. In Buddhism, humility is not about putting yourself down. It's about letting go of ego. It's recognizing that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. Humble people are grounded. They listen more than they speak. They acknowledge their flaws without shame and celebrate others without envy. So how does humility earn respect? In a world where people are often rushing to prove themselves, humility stands out. It's not about shrinking or pretending to be less. It's about knowing your worth without needing to broadcast it. Humility shows up as calm confidence, a willingness to learn, and a deep respect for others. So how can we bring humility into everyday life? Acknowledge your limitations. You're human. You make mistakes, and that's okay. Admitting when you're wrong or when you don't have all the answers doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. People trust and respect those who can be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know, or I made a mistake. Give credit where it's due. Don't take all the spotlight. If someone helped, say so. If a teammate's idea led to success, celebrate them. Sharing the win reflects your confidence and generosity, and others will deeply admire that. Practice active listening. When someone speaks, truly listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Hear their words, feel their story, and respond with curiosity, not comparison. Humble people value the experience of others as much as their own, and that makes them great leaders, friends, and collaborators. Be of service. Lend a hand without expecting applause. Whether it's helping a colleague, supporting a neighbor, or volunteering your time, serving others without ego reveals the heart of humility. These small, quiet gestures often leave the deepest impression. Share your knowledge freely. If you're good at something, don't guard it, give it. Teach others, guide them, lift them up. When you share your knowledge without superiority, others don't just respect your skill, they respect your spirit. At its core, humility reminds us we're all part of something bigger. No one walks alone. When you live with humility, you naturally foster connection, trust, and respect, because people feel safe, seen, and valued in your presence. And now we arrive at the final lesson, right livelihood, a profound teaching in Buddhism that brings everything together. Right livelihood is about choosing work that not only provides for you, but aligns with your values, your ethics, and your desire to contribute meaningfully to the world. Here's how you can live this teaching. Choose work aligned with your values. Ask yourself, does my job reflect who I truly am? When your career is rooted in your beliefs, whether it's creativity, compassion, sustainability, or service, people recognize the authenticity in what you do. And that authenticity commands deep respect. Avoid industries that harm. Right livelihood also means being mindful of what your work supports. If your job, directly or indirectly, causes harm to people, animals, or the planet, it's worth reflecting on. Making an ethical stand, even when it's inconvenient, shows immense integrity. Be ethical in all your dealings. Whether you're managing a business, freelancing, or working on a team, conduct yourself with honesty. Deliver what you promise. Treat others fairly. People remember those who stand firm in their principles, especially when it's hard. Maintain work-life balance. Working hard is honorable, but not at the cost of your well-being. True success includes rest, time with loved ones, and space to grow. When others see you protecting that balance, they respect your wisdom, not just your work ethic. Give back through your work. Every profession has the power to make a difference. Maybe it's mentoring, volunteering your skills, or influencing change in your industry. When you use your career as a channel to give, not just to get, people are inspired by your purpose. Right livelihood isn't about perfection, it's about intention. When your work reflects your heart, it becomes a form of practice, something that builds not just a living, but a legacy. Right livelihood reminds us that the choices we make, at work, at home, in the way we treat others, are all part of a larger picture. It encompasses our daily decisions, our ethical standards, and our desire to contribute something good to the world. When people witness this kind of integrity, it leaves a lasting impression. Respect follows naturally, not because you seek it, but because you live it. And when we take a step back and view the 10 lessons we've explored as a whole, a beautiful tapestry begins to emerge. Each teaching doesn't stand alone. They build upon and support one another. It all begins with mindfulness. Mindfulness is the foundation. It's the practice that anchors you in the present moment and helps you see clearly, both within and around you. As you become more aware of your thoughts and actions, you begin to notice the suffering of others too. And from that awareness, something powerful blooms: compassion. Compassion grows naturally out of mindfulness. When you truly observe the world, not from a place of judgment, but from understanding, you can't help but feel connected to others. Their joy, their pain, their hopes, they become part of your world. And when you feel this deep connection, your grip on attachments begins to loosen. You begin to understand impermanence, that everything changes, nothing lasts. This understanding helps you release the urge to cling to people, outcomes, or status. You start to live more lightly, more freely, and more peacefully. But how we communicate also shapes how we are respected, and that's where right speech comes in. Right speech is more than just speaking kindly. It's about speaking consciously. And to do that well, we need patience. Patience gives us space to pause before we speak, to consider the impact of our words, to choose responses that reflect wisdom rather than impulse. When you speak with care and act with patience, your relationships shift. People feel safer with you. Conversations become more meaningful. Respect grows, not from dominance, but from depth. And then there's gratitude. Gratitude enhances everything. It softens your perspective and opens your heart. When you appreciate what you have rather than focusing on what's missing, you become more grounded, more generous, more present. This mindset naturally leads you into self-reflection. Why? Because gratitude makes you curious. It makes you want to understand your role in the world, how your choices impact others, and how you can grow. Through reflection, you begin to see the patterns in your behavior, and this awareness becomes a catalyst for transformation. And when self-reflection deepens, it leads you to humility. True humility doesn't mean diminishing yourself. It means understanding your place in the larger whole, recognizing that everyone has something to teach you, that you're always growing, always learning. When people see that you're humble, honest, and open, they can't help but admire your authenticity. Together, these lessons form a path, a way of living that is not only deeply fulfilling, but also deeply respected. Humility, when brought into your work, transforms your relationship with success, collaboration, and purpose. You begin to see your job not as a ladder to climb, but as a contribution to something greater than yourself. You recognize your place, not above others, but beside them, part of the vast and beautiful fabric of life. And this naturally leads into right livelihood, the practice of aligning your professional life with your ethical and spiritual values. When your work stems from integrity and you approach it with humility, you gain a deeper sense of fulfillment. You become less driven by ego and more guided by service, compassion, and awareness. No role is too small when it's done with meaning. Whether you're leading a team, teaching a child, growing food, or healing others, when you bring mindfulness and humility into your work, you elevate it, and people notice. They respect not just what you do, but how you do it. This alignment between values, humility, and ethical living becomes a quiet but powerful force in your life. You radiate steadiness, sincerity, and peace. And in a world that often rewards loudness, that quiet strength stands out. So as you've seen, these 10 Buddhist lessons aren't isolated concepts. They're threads woven into a single, interconnected web. They support each other, build upon one another, and together form a complete framework for mindful and respectful living. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment, and all the others, you begin a personal transformation, one that ripples outward. People around you will feel the shift. They'll sense your calm presence, your genuine kindness, your steady values, and they'll respect you not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. But here's something important to remember. Earning respect is never the primary goal. It is the natural result of living authentically in alignment with your inner truth. When you walk the path of growth, honesty, and wisdom, respect follows quietly, like a shadow. And in doing so, you're not only earning the admiration of others, you're becoming the best version of yourself. That, in itself, is an achievement far greater than recognition. It's a life well lived. There's one more lesson, often overlooked, yet deeply powerful, that can elevate your journey to peace and respect. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a core teaching in Buddhism, and it plays a profound role in emotional freedom. It's the key that unlocks healing, both for yourself and for others. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's one of the strongest acts of emotional maturity you can offer. First, there is self-forgiveness. Many of us carry guilt or regret over past mistakes. We replay moments we wish we could erase, but holding on to that guilt only weighs us down. Forgiving yourself means acknowledging that you're human, that you've learned, and that you're worthy of moving forward. Respect begins when you stop punishing yourself for being imperfect. Then, there's forgiving others. This doesn't mean you excuse hurtful actions or forget the pain. Rather, it means you release the anger, bitterness, or resentment that ties you to the past. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way of saying, I choose peace over poison. Finally, true forgiveness requires compassion for both yourself and the person you're forgiving. It doesn't mean becoming naive or passive. It means recognizing that people act from their own wounds, and sometimes letting go is the wisest path. When others see your capacity to forgive, not just once, but again and again, they recognize your emotional strength. They see your ability to rise above conflict and pain, and they respect the wisdom and compassion behind it. Forgiveness heals relationships. It softens your heart, and most of all, it frees your spirit. Contentment is the art of saying, "This is enough." It is closely tied to gratitude, but adds something deeper. It's about settling peacefully into the present without needing more to feel whole. In a world that often pushes us to want more, achieve more, and constantly compare ourselves to others, contentment becomes a quiet rebellion. It's a choice to pause, breathe, and appreciate the simplicity of life as it is. Here's how to cultivate contentment in your everyday experience. Simplify your lifestyle. Let go of the clutter, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You don't need dozens of possessions or endless distractions to feel fulfilled. When you create space in your surroundings and your thoughts, you make room for clarity, calm, and joy. A simpler life often leads to a richer sense of inner peace. Accept the present moment. Instead of chasing the next achievement or obsessing over what's missing, shift your focus to what you already have. Accept where you are right now. This chapter, this stage, this version of you. This acceptance nurtures a deep and lasting kind of happiness that others can sense and admire. Foster positive relationships. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Let go of connections that drain your energy or pull you away from your values. Choose relationships that feel warm, supportive, and honest, where contentment flows naturally through shared presence, not pressure. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness strengthens contentment. When you slow down and fully experience each moment, the taste of your meal, the sound of birds, the warmth of the sun, you begin to realize how much joy already exists right here. Mindful presence teaches you to savor, not just to consume. When you live with contentment, you walk through life with ease. You're less reactive, more grateful. People around you feel your calm energy and admire your ability to stay grounded, even when circumstances shift. Contentment radiates quiet confidence, and that earns deep respect. Flowing naturally from contentment is the beautiful lesson of generosity. When you feel that you already have enough, you begin to share with others, not out of obligation, but from genuine abundance. In Buddhism, generosity is more than a good deed. It's a way of being. It reflects compassion, gratitude, and a desire to ease the burdens of others. Here's how to bring more generosity into your life. Practice random acts of kindness. Don't wait for the right moment. Smile at a stranger. Pay for someone's coffee. Offer to help without being asked. These spontaneous gestures create ripples of positivity and show that your heart is open. Share your resources. Whether it's money, time, knowledge, or emotional support, be willing to give. What you offer may be small to you, but it could be deeply meaningful to someone else. Your willingness to share speaks volumes about your character. Volunteer and give back. Seek opportunities to serve. Whether you volunteer at a shelter, mentor a student, or use your skills to support a cause, giving your time shows deep commitment to something beyond yourself. This kind of generosity earns sincere admiration and respect. Generosity isn't about having extra. It's about living with open hands and an open heart. And those who live this way naturally uplift everyone they meet. To truly live generously is to embrace the spirit of giving, not just occasionally, but consistently, until generosity becomes a natural part of your daily life. It's not about how much you give, but about the heart with which you give. When generosity becomes a way of life, people feel it in your presence. You become someone they trust, someone they admire, not for wealth or status, but for the selfless compassion that flows through your actions. And something beautiful happens. Your generosity sparks more generosity. A kind word, a listening ear, a simple gesture of support. These small acts create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. In this way, generosity not only uplifts your own life, but subtly shifts the energy of those around you. A generous life earns quiet respect, not through praise or recognition, but through the lasting impact it leaves in people's hearts. From generosity, we flow into a quality that anchors all the rest. Equanimity, the ability to remain calm and composed through life's highs and lows. Equanimity is what steadies you when everything else feels uncertain. It is the emotional balance that allows you to respond to life rather than react impulsively. Rooted in patience and the understanding of impermanence, equanimity invites you to meet each moment as it is, without clinging, without resistance. Here's how to cultivate it. Cultivate a balanced mind. Meditation is your starting point. Through regular practice, you learn to observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Joy, anger, fear, they come and go. Equanimity teaches you to let them pass like clouds in the sky while you remain grounded in awareness. Accept life's unpredictability. Plans fall apart. People change. The unexpected arrives without warning. Instead of resisting this truth, equanimity asks us to open to it, with softness, not struggle. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up, it means letting go of the illusion of control. Maintain a steady perspective. When challenges arise, can you step back and see the bigger picture? Can you respond, not from emotion, but from clarity? A steady presence is respected, especially in a world full of noise and reaction. Release judgment. To live with equanimity is to practice fairness, not labeling situations or people as good or bad, but approaching all with an open heart. When you meet others with non-judgment and sincerity, you build trust and create space for mutual respect. Equanimity isn't cold detachment, it's warm stability. It allows you to show up fully, even in discomfort, with grace and compassion. And in doing so, you become someone others look to for steadiness when the world wavers. And now we arrive at the final lesson, perhaps the most cherished of them all: inner peace. This lesson isn't separate from the others. It is the essence that runs through each one. Inner peace is not something we achieve and hold on to. It's a way of traveling through life, a journey built moment by moment through mindfulness, compassion, non-attachment, gratitude, patience, and every lesson we've explored. So how do we begin to nurture this peace within? To truly cultivate inner peace, we must learn one of life's hardest but most liberating lessons. Let go of the need for control. So much of our suffering stems from trying to bend reality to fit our expectations. But the truth is, no matter how carefully we plan, there will always be surprises, delays, disappointments, and detours. Inner peace begins the moment we stop fighting what we cannot change and instead focus on how we respond. When you surrender the urge to control every outcome, you open yourself to something greater: flow, presence, and emotional freedom. Practice forgiveness and acceptance. Let go of the weight of old wounds. Release the bitterness that keeps your heart tight. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over pain. And when you accept life, people, and yourself as they are, without constant resistance, you begin to experience a kind of lightness that others will sense and admire. Live authentically. Align your actions with your values. Speak your truth with kindness. Make choices that reflect who you truly are, not who the world expects you to be. Authenticity is rare, and those who live it earn not only peace, but deep respect from others who recognize their sincerity. Inner peace isn't a trophy you win. It's the steady, quiet result of countless daily choices. Choices to let go, to forgive, to be true to yourself, and to live in alignment with what matters most. And here's the beauty of it. Inner peace radiates outward. When you carry calm within, it affects your energy, your words, your presence. It uplifts the people around you and brings harmony to every room you walk into. As you continue walking this path, infused with forgiveness, contentment, generosity, and equanimity, your life becomes more than a personal journey. It becomes a message, a quiet example of what's possible when we live with intention. Because in the end, respect isn't a goal to chase. It's the natural result of living with awareness, compassion, and truth. And your growth, your quiet, steady transformation, is the real proof that these teachings work. As we near the final chapters of this journey, there's one more essential lesson to explore: one that invites us to live with even more awareness in today's fast-paced, consumer-driven world. Mindful consumption. How can the way we consume reflect our inner values? And how does conscious consumption shape the kind of respect we inspire? One of the most overlooked forms of consumption in modern life is what we take in through our screens. Every article we read, every video we watch, every social media scroll, it all has an effect on our mindset, our emotions, and our energy. That's why practicing discernment in media consumption is an act of both self-care and self-respect. Choose to engage with content that uplifts, educates, and inspires. Step away from what drains you, misleads you, or fills your mind with fear or judgment. This conscious filter not only protects your mental clarity, it sets an example. People notice when you're intentional about your input. Your peace of mind becomes visible in how you speak, how you show up, and how you relate to others. And that quiet, calm presence earns genuine respect. By making mindful consumption a daily practice, from the food you eat, to the news you read, to the resources you use, you contribute to a more balanced, ethical, and compassionate world. And in doing so, you earn admiration not for what you say, but for how you live. From mindful living flows a natural next step: kindness. Kindness is simple, yet powerful. It transcends borders, beliefs, and differences. In Buddhism, kindness is more than just being nice. It is a daily expression of compassion, an offering of peace to the world around us. And when done sincerely, it inspires respect that runs deep. Here's how to bring more kindness into your life. Practice random acts of kindness. Sometimes, the smallest gestures leave the biggest impressions. Hold the door. Offer a genuine compliment. Smile at a stranger. These simple actions can brighten someone's day and create ripples far beyond what you'll ever know. Cultivate a compassionate heart. Before reacting, pause. Ask yourself, how can I understand rather than judge? When you approach every interaction with empathy, others feel safe with you. They trust your presence, and that trust builds deep, lasting respect. Be a supportive friend. When someone close to you is struggling, show up. Not with solutions, but with presence. Just being there, listening without judgment, is an act of kindness that's never forgotten. Extend kindness to all beings. Don't limit your compassion to people. Treat animals, plants, and the planet itself with care. The way you treat the voiceless speaks volumes about your character. Kindness toward all life forms reveals the depth of your respect for existence itself. Kindness, when practiced regularly, becomes a natural part of who you are. And people don't just respect your words, they respect the warmth you bring into the world simply by being you. Finally, we come to a lesson that beautifully ties the journey together: self-compassion. In Buddhism, loving kindness starts from within. It's not enough to be kind to others. You must also extend that same care to yourself. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It's not weakness. It's strength wrapped in gentleness. It's the courage to meet yourself with love, even when you stumble. Here's how to practice it. Be mindful of your self-talk. What do you say to yourself when no one is listening? Replace harsh inner criticism with gentle understanding. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. Embrace imperfection. You are human. You will make mistakes. That doesn't make you unworthy. It makes you real. Learn from your flaws, but don't punish yourself for them. They are part of your becoming. Prioritize self-care. Rest, breathe, move, reflect, Nourish your body, mind, and spirit. When you take care of yourself, you tell the world and yourself that you are valuable. Forgive yourself. Release the old stories. Let go of the past. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. You deserve peace, too. Self-compassion transforms how you treat yourself, and that transformation radiates outward. When others see that you honor yourself, they're inspired to do the same. Your inner strength becomes a mirror, reflecting back courage, peace, and quiet dignity. By incorporating these final teachings, mindful consumption, kindness, and self-compassion into your life, your journey of growth becomes more complete, more grounded, more radiant. And now, as we prepare to close this journey, let's pause for one last reflection, to bring together everything we've learned and celebrate how far you've come. If this journey has resonated with your heart, don't forget to click like, subscribe to Buddhism Seeds, and share this video with someone you care about. Let us know in the comments, which of these teachings has made the biggest impact on your life? Your words may inspire someone else, just as these lessons have inspired you.